Hey guys, we have been waiting for the announcement and it has come. Polarthon's back. Hey guys, if you're new here, welcome to the Book Path. I'm Nicole, and if this isn't your first rodeo, thanks for sticking around. So I know in my February TBR, we had made mention of a few things we were keeping an eye on, and one of which was the announcement for Polarthon, and it came about, I think, a day or two or three after I was done filming or posting my video. You know, that's just what happens, and that's fine. And even the host Jade, she apologized because she knew she was a little behind schedule on it, which is fine. You know, we all get busy. But I'm happy that she is taking the time out to do this again. And for those of you who don't know, Polarthon is a wintry themed, polar, snowy themed readathon that takes place the first full week of February. For this year, that is going to be February 5th through February 11th. And sometimes she will do just read whatever. Sometimes she will have specific prompts, and sometimes she will have team challenges with or without prompts. So for this round, she has chosen to go with teams, and she has two co-hosts going with her. And for the first team, you have Beth Bartholomew, and she is leading Team Arctic Fox, and for her team's prompts are to read books with blue covers. You have Steph from StephLoves, and she's heading up Team Reindeer, and that's to read a book with S's on the cover. And then you have Jade heading up a team herself, and she's doing Team Polar Bear, of course, and hers is to read books with foils on the cover. And basically the goal is you can read whatever you want, and for every 100 pages of what you read, you get a snowball, because this is a snowball fight themed readathon. So for every 100 pages, you get a snowball. There are bonus snowballs you can get. Like I just said, with each team, they have prompts. If you happen to read a book that fulfills one of those prompts, a blue cover, an S foiling on the cover, if that is your team's prompt, you get an extra snowball. You also get an extra snowball if you have something that is a polar fantasy. And what we mean by polar fantasy is really anything that has a wintry theme for it. Does it take place in the North Pole, the South Pole, Antarctica, you know, Russia, anywhere where it's like, is it wintertime? Is it Christmas time? Anything like that, that has that wintry feel to it, that winter wonderland, that cold, the frost, anything like that, that does have a bit of fantasy to it, counts. So basically you could potentially get, you know, at least 2 snowballs if you're reading a polar fantasy and it has your team prompt in there, and then however many pages. So obviously by the end, the team with the most snowballs wins. So she's also, so along with this, Jade is also once again doing donations for the polar bears. I will link her announcement video below, which will give you links to the donations and all the information that you want, and all the graphics for her readathon. I think she said that for every snowball that she gets is going to be $1 that she donates. So pending how we read, I'm probably going to do the same thing, and then I may or may not round up or round down. I mean, not round down, I'm not going to round up. Pending how it goes and how much I read, I will probably do the same thing, and then maybe just round up pending how many pages or how many snowballs I have. So if it's like 7, I might round up to 10 and so forth. I thought when I was hearing the announcement that I would be all for Team Arctic Fox, because I do love Arctic foxes. I think they are absolutely adorable. They are one of my more preferred animals. And I thought with a book with a blue cover, easy enough. But looking at all of the books that I had already set aside in my February TBR to kind of double up on prompts, I didn't really have any with the blue cover. And then when I was looking behind me, I'm like, I had some with blue covers, but they were really thick. And so I probably wouldn't have been able to read as much. And I wanted to kind of read more of my thinner books this month because of, you know, of Polarthon and Literature Club Readathon and the other things that I needed to get done. So I did find out that I had a few books fulfilling another prompt that I could do, and that was the books with S's. So I'm actually joining Team Reindeer this year, which is hosted by Steph over at StephLoves, which is fine because I like her. I like her videos. Obviously, I'm participating in the Literature Readathon. So, I mean, I've participated in a lot of her readathons, so I'm a fan. It's okay. And reindeers are adorable as well. I've seen them in real life. They are the cutest things, and so yeah, I'm like, I'll take it. It's not a loss in any way for me. But basically, because it is a week-long readathon, I am trying to be realistic as far as my TBR goes. And I'm going to start with just 3 books. If I happen to read more, fantastic. If I don't get to all of them within the span of the week, that's okay, because all 3 of these books are featured in my TBR. Well, one of them is new. One of them's new. I'm sorry, one of them's new. But let me go ahead and I will tell you what we will be reading for Polarthon. So, because we are having that team prompt and I want to get some extra points in there, because honestly, I don't think any of my books are polar fantasy at all. I know it's contradictory to what Polarthon's about, but you know what? It's in for the fun, and as long as you're doing it for fun and supporting the polar bears, then you know it is what it is. It's just the way that it happened this year. But basically, I'm going to be tackling the books with S's that were already in my queue, which is Valley of Shadows by Arthur Butt. This was the challenge jar pick for this month. And just a little tiny bit of info, because you can watch the February TBR if you want more info on this. It is basically a time traveling fantasy romance save the girl type of thing. So I think I got the major plot points of that one. So this was an author self-rec. So I'm going to try to read that because obviously Shadows has 2 S's and it works. After that, we are going to be tackling our Cocky Hero Club pick for February. I'm hoping to have Park Avenue Player done before then. However, I have seen that sometimes Park Avenue Player is not regarded as the first book. So either way, it'll work. But we are going to be reading Cocky Bastard by Penelope Warden B. Keelan. This was the one about a girl traveling cross country, and she picks up an Aussie somehow, and it's their trip and it's their road trip and the romance, and is it going to end at the end of the trip and all that kind of fun stuff. So we will be picking up that one. And then the next one is basically, I was given another arc. I've been very blessed with that lately, so I'm very grateful. But I was given the arc Cold Moon Carnival by S.L. Dooley, which I will be reading. That comes out February 29th, and I will be reading that one before then, obviously. However, there is another book by her that seems to be in the same world that came out. It's not necessarily treated as a prequel, but just to be on the safe side, I'm going to go ahead and read that one first. And it was available on Kindle Unlimited, so we were good there. And that is The Summertime Circus by S.L. Dooley. So obviously it has S's in it as well. So that is going to be the 3rd book that I try to get done for Polarthon. And because that one is a new book that I didn't mention in my February TBR because I hadn't received the arc for Cold Moon Carnival, I didn't put it in there yet. But Summertime Circus is basically a fantasy book where you have an elven circus troupe, a kingdom's betrayal, revenge, centuries in the making. The Summertime Circus, a beloved troupe of elven entertainers, captivates audience with daring feats and stunning displays. But this year, their performance takes them to the Grey Kingdom, which is ruled by mysterious and mighty leaders. They're known to most for their incredible power, but to Isaiah for their cruelty and mercilessness. Isaiah, the leader of the Summertime Circus, is consumed with her plans for revenge against the Grey Kingdom. Ages ago, when they could have used their power and influence to help her kin, they ignored her suffering, or their suffering. It is something Isaiah will never forget, never forgive. And I'm assuming this is Isaiah because it's spelled Isayah. so it could be spelled or pronounced differently. I am sorry, I'm going to say it like Isaiah because that's how it comes across to me. Anyway, Isaiah's obsession with revenge consumes her every thought and emotion until she's assigned an eager young apprentice, Selah. Selah looks up to her new mentor and, much to Isaiah's dismay, shares her secret desire for revenge. When Selah goes missing, Isaiah fears the worst and sets out to find her, putting her own life in peril. Will her thirst for revenge blind her to the real danger facing her and her troop, or have events set into motion so long ago already sealed their fate? So it's going to be interesting because the fact that this is kind of a revenge story, but it's also this kind of found family bond or possibly romance, I'm not sure. It's all being presented through the form of a traveling circus. And so that is kind of intriguing to itself with, I'm like, are these like circus assassins? Like, and they're elves? So I'm intrigued. But I will be reading this one so Cold Carnival is going to kind of, from what I felt, is going to take place in the same sort of world. It does have to do with the carnival of elves as well. So once again, that's why I wanted to read the Summertime Circus, is to kind of get a feel for this world, and what it's about, because I do feel like they are linked. And I will give more information on Cold Carnival as that approaches, close to when I'm actually reading it, and give you kind of a follow-up then. So that is basically what I'm going to be trying to read for Polarthon, is those 3. So I should get at least 3 snowballs because of them all having S's, and then it'll just come down to the page count. Anything after that, I will probably just kind of either mood read something. I think I have Hunt on the Dark Waters by Katie Robert, that if I need a 4th book, that might be the one that I go to, but I'm not going to put it out there yet, because I feel like 3 books in 1 week is good for me. I'm like, it's with the week going and having to, have kids and school and everything, and what reading may or may not be accomplished. We shall see, but it would be wonderful if I could do more. That'd be great. That'd be fantastic. But we're going to go with those 3 just to kind of not overwhelm ourselves. But it should be fun. It should be exciting. I'm assuming there's probably going to be some reading sprints going on that I will be joining up in, at least as a participant. I'm not cool enough to host this or be a part of this yet. But I hope you guys will maybe take a glance at it and see if it's something that you might be interested in joining. And if you are, let me know in the comments below. Let me know what team you might be joining. Will you be on my team? Will you be on a different team? No hard feelings either way. Maybe a snowball or 2 being thrown your way, but I'm just kidding. I will be nice. But no, it sounds like a really great time, and I hope you guys will take it a chance and glance at it, and maybe join up and just read what you want, or maybe even just make a donation in Polarthon's name to the polar bears to support the kind of Arctic wildlife that obviously is threatened right now, and go from there. But I hope to have a lot of fun, and I hope to see you guys there. And other than that, stay safe, stay healthy, stay warm. I'm flustered in talking right now. My mind is right now. But, stay safe, stay happy and healthy, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.